Yo, what's up, Twinks? My name is Musky Bad. I am joined by the lovely Camo, FL, and the one, the only Conq. How you guys doing?
Pretty good. Pretty good.
It's going.
Oh man, doing well.
So, why don't you guys just take a minute and you can introduce yourselves a little bit, maybe talk about, what your involvement is in the 19s bracket, that kind of thing?
All right.
FL, do you want to go first?
Yeah. So I'm FL. Most of you probably know me as EPH. Been playing in the NWL with Wildcard. And I played in the Twin Cup with Ping. Been doing a little bit of commentating and stuff like that with Muskie, which has been pretty fun.
My name is Musky.
But yeah.
By the lovely Conq. You're gonna mute that shit, aren't you? Yeah. Okay. Cool. So Conq, why don't you go next?
I'm Conq. I guess most people probably know me, but I guess got into 19s about. Well, again, I did it back in Vanilla and BC, but I got back in early WOD, maybe late MOP. Basically, I came to Bleeding Hollow, made Paradox Genesis, whatnot. Since then, I've after the Twin Cup and during it, made GG19 in the NWL.
Cool.
I'm Camo. I've been one of the oldest members in skill ratio. Been around since BC. Known for playing mage and I guess now rogue. That's pretty much it.
Cross mage dream, man. All right. So today
Always.
we've got a pretty hype matchup. Actually, it's going to be Ugly Girls Get Tap Water taking on Waka Flocka Seagulls, and it's going to be a great matchup. That's for sure. I'm a little bit worried about Waka Flocka because these guys are starting to come back. It's not the exact same team that they did have in the Twin Cup, which was very strong in mid. Today they're actually using Blackout as their mercenary, and he's most likely going to be their target caller as well. From what I know, he's playing BM Monk. And sometimes when you're jumping in with somebody like to be the target caller for the first time, maybe the synergy's not there. He has a very aggressive style of target calling. I know from playing with him in Ping. I think it will synergize well with Waka because that's kind of how they played too. They had really good swaps and everything like that, but it is if they synergize well with him. Whereas on the flip side, looking at Ugly Girls Get Tap Water, we've been playing a lot of real IDs against them. Wildcard has been playing a lot of real IDs against them, and they seem to almost be stagnating a little bit. And I hate to say that because they are kind of the top level team, but when there's nobody to really test you and nobody to really push your limits or anything like that, nobody coming to take your prize at the top, it could be a big issue. And that's something that we saw with skill ratio coming into the Twin Cup as well too. Right before they all of a sudden started losing, and I wouldn't be surprised if maybe we see something like that happen again today.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, Waka Flocka has a lot to bring to the table with the team, no doubt. I mean, UGTW, they haven't lost a game yet. But, I think I wouldn't be surprised if this ended up being a really competitive game. I know UGTW feels like they'll have to really one up Waka objectively in this game.
Sorry, go ahead, Gemma.
I think the biggest thing to think about is I think Ugly Girls Got Tap Water are coming in really hungry. I know there's been some recent drama about some wins getting taken away or whatever you want to call it. So I think they're coming in really hungry, trying to get some wins.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, honestly, in regards to that, adding Waka Flocka Seagulls after the season had already started, or re-adding them as it were, really, it ended up messing with the bracket. So mathematically speaking, like counting games would give GGW advantage over other teams, or give Waka Flocka a significant disadvantage over other teams. So mathematically, it didn't work out.
Okay.
And I hope UGTW is understanding because those are my dudes. And yeah.
I think it's gonna be a battle of the mid fights, man. I'm looking through these rosters, and there's that old video from the Twin Cup that that GSC released of Fancy's target calling and stuff like that, and everyone knows that team is definitely a very strong group in mid. People like HB, Yeah, wait for Dan, exactly. People like HB, Saxon, Trendy, Fancy. I'm just looking through this roster. That is a stacked team. That's a team that knows, how to make those right swaps. That's a team that knows how to punish someone that's out of position. And I've kind of seen that firsthand just playing against them and with them. So I think it's going to be a severe fight in mid. But Waka, is coming in with Blackout coming from Ping, and Muskie. You and I know this from playing with Ping during the Twin Cup. But Blackout is a force to be reckoned with when it comes to mid fights. He's a complete beast, and paired with people like Super Stalin, Original, Ganker, I'm sure that can definitely be quite a thunderous performance in mid. So yeah. I think it would be pretty interesting to see what happens.
So bouncing off what you're saying here, they also have Yowza, who's a freaking monster, exactly. Man. This guy, like I said it the other day when we were playing against them, it's almost like playing against a double boomy comp because of just how good this guy is at putting out damage. He will make healers by himself. It's insane. He always pretty much doubles everyone's damage in a game. Doesn't matter if he's on a warrior, on a boomy. But then you also have to look that HB isn't FCing, so that's not, as everyone agrees, HB the best FC in the bracket. He's going to be probably on Boomkin or maybe Lock or something like that. But Waka, almost 100%, you can imagine they're going to be using Gankrixer on Rogue. And Gankrixer, same kind of thing. Argued to be the best Rogue. Definitely the best Rogue in the NWL right now, I'd say. So,
yeah. Well, who does UGTW have on Rogue right now?
Well, Saxon's been playing a little bit of Rogue in Real IDs lately. On his stream as well. He's been talking about how he just really enjoys playing it and misses it and everything like that. And if Fancy's playing Hunter, that's also a very strong defense.
Right.
Otherwise, they've also got Revolution, who plays Rogue as well.
Oh, yeah, Revo. Revo's a really good Rogue.
Yeah.
He's really good on the return.
I think Myth does as well, right?
I think he does.
Myth's their Rogue.
Sure.
No, I remember looking at the roster. Myth was their Rogue. Listed as anyway.
Yeah, he's listed as the Rogue at least.
Yeah.
So... And Myth, Myth can definitely play right.
He's good. Myth's fine.
So I'll be interested to see. I think the biggest thing with the Rogue as well, like I think Stack showed this in one of his older, not older games. It was just the game last week, Pleb Mates. But I think he got a Ninja Cap, or not a Ninja Cap, but a Ninja Pickup when they were trying to pass the flag up to Graveyard and stuff like that. So I know Ganker did that during a lot of the those Pleb Mates that we had before the Twin Cup. Sax obviously shown that he can do that as well. So I think it's like the Rogue presence that both of these guys bring to these games. I think the mind game that they can kind of play. I think that would be interesting to see how these teams kind of adapt to something like that.
So the other thing that's actually very interesting is that both of these teams are also playing on Alliance, which usually you see a lot of people running Horde teams for the strength of the racials. Don't get me wrong, Shadow Meld's OP, but nothing snowballs team fights quite like Horde racials. So I'm wondering to see kind of what do you guys think about how that's going to have an influence on how the game plays out?
I think it's going to come down to like more strategical and like transitioning. You don't have to just like Mongo in and blow all your like 3 Blood Elf racials with Hunters and Rogues and BMs on their healers to get pressure and move up into the field.
Yeah, there will be a lot less initial pressure in mid, I'd say, because, just go balls to the wall, Arcane Torn, Force Stomp everybody, so people are going to be more cautious because they have less crowd control.
Before we continue, by the way, I just want to bring up, so I just got a message from someone saying that Blackout isn't going to be playing today.
Interesting.
Yeah,
that's interesting.
So that is kind of an interesting thing. That kind of takes away from what I thought this game was going to go like. So
yeah, I don't know what that's going to end up looking.
So one, I'm thinking. So I got 2 questions now. Is one, who's going to be the BM, right? Because that's obviously an important role. And 2, how does this change kind of their strategy? Because I think Waka is obviously aware of the fact that Blackout is a strong presence in mid, and Blackout can really lead that mid presence. That mid team during those crucial mid fights. But is this going to cause, maybe you think, like a change in strats, possibly, depending on who they get?
Do you guys remember who they played last time? I think it was Dark XD main team, right? And in the first few seconds, Waka played against Dark XD main team, and in the first few seconds they killed somebody. They blew him up immediately. It looked like old Waka. That was I think I remember saying that on stream. They just hard swapped and killed somebody 100-0, and it was awesome. It was like old Waka. So I think that they've got the potential. They had a little bit of trouble adapting to that game because it was kind of that full 10 midfield thing. But yeah, what do you guys think? It's gonna come down to who's gonna be holding down their roster. So it's hard to see, but yeah.
I don't know. Blackout's a mercenary. I know he's one of the best leaders, like strategically in the bracket. So that's definitely gonna hurt them not having him. But I mean, if he's a mercenary, I don't think it's gonna make too much difference because he's not one of the core members.
Yeah, they do have Big Body Bugatti on their roster list as well.
I think, actually, I don't believe Big Body Bugatti is playing.
I don't think he's playing, yeah.
He's
I don't know.
moved off the roster, actually.
Oh, really? Okay.
Yeah, I have yet to update that myself. But I don't know what Waka's going to look like. If Blackout's not there, I mean, like, he may be a mercenary, but he can, he's the kind of player, just going by word of mouth that can just get in a team and really take control of the situation. And I know that they were counting on him to an extent. So.
Yeah, the thing that would be so good about Blackout is just how well he would mesh into Waka right off the bat, I think. Really
I think it would be a great fit as well.
So,
like, logistically.
We are jumping into the game pretty soon, so before we head out, I want to get y'all's predictions. Who do you think is going to win?
Ugly Girls got tap water.
That's a tough one, man.
I think they're gonna
think it's
come
Ugly
out
Girls?
with a fire underneath them because they're mad. They want their wins. I think they got two veteran leaders in Sax and HB. Obviously, Waka Flocka's got Mutando and Gankrix that are hold down the fort, but I don't know if it's gonna be enough. You guys' thoughts?
Ugly Girls also has a really fantastic healing roster, and I don't mean this to take anything away from Waka, because I know they were fantastic during the Twin Cup, and they definitely showed us what they were made of. But Ugly Girls has a fantastic healing team as well. I played with Party during the Twin Cup as well, and he was fantastic. Vangna, obviously a strong priest. They just have a really strong mid group, and I understand that mid isn't everything, right? Objective play obviously kind of takes the cake when it comes to what comes at the end. But yeah, I mean, without Blackout there, I'm not sure. I think it really might be Ugly Girls, but I don't want to take away from Waka. They were substantial during that Twin Cup, and they've been practicing. I know they've been queuing pugs. Mutando's always online. Like, I know these guys at Waka, like they're always playing. They're always in. Mice can be a beast. Just watching that guy playing D on that D Hunter, he's definitely pretty crazy as well. So I don't want to take anything away, but I think Ugly Girls might have the advantage today.
Camo, you got to give me some reason, Camo, first before you go, Con, because all you said was Ugly Girls get tap water. You're just like,
no, I gave you a reason. I was like, I think their veteran leadership was Sax.
Oh, right. You're right.
Well, obviously, I think they'll come down to them transitioning better to go along with that. They have the leaders and a veteran experience to do so.
But I want that to serve as motivation for Waka to just come out full force and prove us wrong.
But that's
I want to see them just beast.
That's a really good point, because Waka has a history of just coming in, not giving a fuck about anything else,
exactly,
winning, and getting better, and that's why they've had so much success in this bracket in the first place. When it comes to UGTW versus WFS right now, I think that UGGTW probably has the advantage, because in this scenario right now, because they've been playing more consistently as a team for the past 2-3, actually since September. So they've been at it a bit. Waka Flocka has been there, but they've been moving around a lot. So yeah, I think that could play out today. Maybe not. WFS is, as we said, they take you by surprise. They do.
All right. Well, I think to wrap it up, I am going to give it to Ugly Girls as well, because I think that without having Blackout, they just aren't going to be able to roll over Ugly Girls Get Tap Water. And I think that's when the Yowza factor comes into it, and that's when he kind of just makes healers and everybody have a hard time. So I think that's really going to be what it is. However, I definitely give like a lot of upset potential to Waka Flocka here because of how good they are going to be with their objective control, how much experience is with that lineup of Gankrixer and Mice and whoever else is going to be involved there, Original or Pumpixa, whoever's FCing. So I'm really looking forward to it. It's going to be a really good game.
I'm excited, man. I'm excited.
All right, so I think that's going to be it for a little bit. We're going to take a little bit of a minute. I'm going to look and see if Living Forest is here. Apparently, he was picking up his other brother from the airport. He should be getting home
Kill the Hana.
soon, and we'll hit it off then. So we'll take a little bit of break. Don't go anywhere. You guys can get some water, something like that, whatever you need to sit back and watch some Twinks for the next couple hours.
Very excited. Hope everybody has fun tonight.
Kill the Hana, boys.
Kill the Hana.
Kill the Hana.